Hey everyone, and welcome to a Krozzfyre cast. I'm Krozzfyre, this is a cast, this is Krozzfyre casts. Now, it is very early in the morning, it is 8:30 in the morning, and to be precise, but I'm excited to give you this cast. This comes from Qvazar, who I'm sure you guys, if you've been watching my cast, you'll notice this was probably the most intense and insane 2v2 that I casted, which involved Qvazar and Tezting, which are a tag team duo, who are going to be playing as the Austere, and going up against them is going to be, let's take the fog of war off, let's get some match started as well, it's a big map, we've got plenty of time to talk. Going up against the Elite Special Forces, and 175049242, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna pronounce your name like that, I'm afraid I can't. I'll just call you One, or Numbers Guy, just one or the other. But let's take the fog of war off. As always, I'm gonna try and focus on just one side if I can, but we'll have a little look at the Soviet players soon as well. So straight off the bat, Qvazar is going to go and take the fuel, and his ally Tezting is going to come up and take this point up here. So this will enable him to connect his fuel, and he doesn't want to go this side, he wants to focus on this side if he can, on this left hand side. Excuse me, I'm jumping the screen about a little bit, but you can follow on the minimap a little better. And Qvazar is going to go for a Grenadier straight into an HMG. Meanwhile, Tezting is going to go for the same. So expect some nice MG play around the sort of fuel and the victory point area. I've mentioned before, obviously Minsk map is meant to be one of the most balanced maps of all. But in terms of balance, as far as I can see, it's very accurate, very fair. But it generally comes down to who's got the better placements, really. Who's been able to push forward fast enough and first with an MG and secure that they are fueled down. So the mid always sees lots of action, but then again, the action is always high paced and it's always across the whole map. But there we are. So we've got the first brief engagement now. Numbers Guy is going to take on Tezting's Pioneer Squad. It's going to be difficult. The line of sight is really awkward around here. But the Grenadiers are in to push these guys away very easily, and they're not going to be able to take that cut-off, so it's well supported of his troops by Tezting. And meanwhile, Qvazar is going to go for his... Yeah, he's going to go for this cut-off over here, and he's going to put some wire down. This is going to prevent any infantry coming through, and it kind of denies the whole area. It's a very large flank to go around it, so it's going to force either a vehicle or some the Minesweeper upgrade. We do see double Grenadiers raised, easy enough able to take push away these combat engineers, and they're now going to move across to try and take on the conscript squad as well. So unfortunately, these pioneers weren't able to get their barbed wire down in time, because he took the time out to cap this point here. If you ran straight up and put the wire down, you might not be having to lose this fight against combat engineers. Sorry, I was about to say Elite Special Forces, and I started reading combat engineers. But we see, ooh, yeah, good choice to run. In case you're kind of newer players to Come to Heroes series, running away reduces your received accuracy. So if you're running, you're less likely to get hit, so if there's a sniper chasing you, he's less likely to hit you because you're in retreat mode. There's a few little bugs with it, unfortunately, with things like the strafing run, but let's not get involved with that. Unfortunately, Qvazar, he wanted to fight this mortar squad, but he should have finished capping up first, because he invested a lot of time there. So just to move without finishing it is kind of disheartening, and you know, his MG42 wouldn't have died to the Maxim in that time, but he is going to be able to push this Maxim away now quite handily, especially as he's suppressed. You get the initial bonus armor sort of against most shots, but that wears out over time. As you can see now, guys are dropping like flies. Did that squad go down? There's a lot of casualties down there. They might have actually taken that squad over there. And the Grenadiers are, like I say, very easily pushing away this MG. More strikes coming in now against the MG, I assume. So he needs to reposition the MG just into this point, so he's going to be able to keep forward pressure and avoid the mortar strikes. This Grenadier squad is going down deep. He's going to encounter some Maxims. Can he? Yeah, he should be easy enough to be able to get out of that field of fire, which he does. And he's going for battle phase 1 now. The line of sight here, look, prevents the MG from actually firing because all the trees are in the way. Sorry, he's going for his tier 1 upgrade now, so we can actually be able to start using rifle blades pretty soon. He's going for a very big flank anyway. More MG on MG action. Unfortunately, these guys are taking quite a bit of damage from the mortar, so they're not going to be able to push this Maxim away. unless he can get this arcing flank in and this MG set up as well. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, you see a bit of action, a bit of a well, no, actually, it's not a misplacing. Very good, actually, being able to catch this conscript squad down here. And this conscript squad has now been very well flanked by the Grenadiers and the Pioneers together. Meanwhile, see, this Grenadier squad is doing decent damage against his Mortar squad. The Mortar squad is very close to going down, but no, he decides to change his focus on this other Mortar squad that's damaging up his troops. As you can see, these guys are quite low now. If one accurate mortar lands on them, they're going to be in a world of trouble. So these Grenadiers come down and help them out now as well. Meanwhile, another MG in placement. So as I said, it all depends on who can get the first MG down outside the other fuel. That's the competition, if you will, of Minsk Pocket. But we can see Tezting has gone quite sort of aggressive on this left-hand side and denied the middle, and they've completely denied the right-hand side, which rightfully kind of belongs to them, but unfortunately they cut off from both points at the moment because they didn't cap up this point here. Capping up this other point, it's the same as if you... Actually, I'm going to pause this replay just real quick, just because I want to explain this. On both sides of the map, let's take a look on the tactile map. Both sides of the map have these cut-offs here to your fuel. Okay, so a cut-off here and a cut-off here, you can see it's adjoined. So it's really vital that you cap both of these points, because if you lose one, as they have now, well, they've just lost their entire connection across all of these regions, and they would have been connected if they did take the time out to get their other cut-off point. So going aggressive style, going down deep into the throats of your enemy and not back-capping, you sort of, we're 5.5 minutes in now, you should have had one unit that he said, right, okay, I'll have like 30 seconds that I can use to just go and cap up the point and then go on forward. But different people have different playstyles. I'm not always right. This is just my opinion, guys. Sometimes it's valid, sometimes it's really not. But he's using the line of sight very nicely on these trees here. It's this little flank around. It's a little frustrating. There's no cover at all in it. But like I say, he's able to just walk around these MGs with no hassle whatsoever. But they need. Okay, so he's capping up this this cutoff now, which is great for him. And these Grenadiers are going to be able to start back capping as well, given that the mortar isn't too damaging to him. The mortar strike's a bit too far back. So if he is barraging, he's barraging too far away, and if it was just an auto shot, well, it's not gonna bother him. So you do hear a vehicle. So we've got Qvazar's half-track coming out. It's not quite got the munitions for the upgrade, but it will be quite soon. And we see a scout car as well then, so a clown car actually. I've seen some engineers in there. I assume they've got the flamer. So this bunker is now going to be in a spot of bother because he's facing the wrong way. So he needs to get some form of troops there as soon as possible to protect it. The mid is now kind of securely in the hands of the Soviets with double MGs there, and they've also got the mortars in the back as well. So as soon as this half-track is able to upgrade to a flame, he's going to do some really nasty stuff back there, and I'm talking filthy stuff. Mortar's coming down now again, so this is the difference between Qvazar's army and Elite Special Forces. Elite Special Forces has that range you can actually implement just to lob over the MGs. Is that MG gone down? No, the MG's still up, it's time of days. He wanted to just try to keep it there and just reinforce off the half-track. He's not able to do that because the mortar is feeding into it. And the half-track doesn't want to stay in the fire of the MG for too long because it does start taking some damage. You can see it is slowly going down. But as soon as he gets this this flame, he's able to just flank around everything and really mop up in there. MG placement, again, slightly premature. If he had just done it in this point here, you'd have been able to have the line of sight just to cover this angle, and he would have been able to start firing across any of these guys over here. But there we go. Okay, so this clown car is now being... well, it could possibly turn into a Marcus car. I read recently a thread about Marcus cars. Someone said, can we change the name of it? I kind of agree. If anyone has a better name for those guys than a Marcus car, then let us know and I'll permanently use it for my cast. Okay, so the Flame Half-Track's timing is now up, but because, like I say, he's taking a bit of damage already from the MGs, he's going to be able to flank this one very easily, and then he's going to be able to use these Pioneers to come and repair him up before he goes on to the main excursion in this middle. So that's smart, conservative play. The MG is now moved across into this point, as he should have. And the Scout Car is being aggressive and just coming around and shooting the back of these guys. Because there's no AT about, there's no conscripts about, there's no AT gun as of yet about. Well, that's been revealed at least. And you can see now this is happy days for Qvazar. Qvazar can take out this MG now as well. He's managed to get one down, but he can just keep reinforcing off this half-track until he gets in the building. Meanwhile, in the middle, these Grenadiers, they don't want to be there. You really don't want to be there. You want to get some out as soon as possible. I'm guessing he tried to run in, just go for a rifle nade, but he is not in a good position whatsoever right now. He may have just forgotten where he's a lot going on. So this MG is able to take this out. Okay, so he's upgunned his scout car. That's what he's done. So he's going to take care of the Marcus car or clown car. Grenadiers need to get out as soon as humanly possible. His half track is going to be repaired up, which is going to be great. And his pioneers. Okay, so if you go by this ground squad went down. The pioneers should be able to reinforce, and if you can deal with the MG around here, you will be able to steal the MG there, which is good for denial if nothing else. And this scout car needs to move back. These guys are upgraded with the flamer, so only 2 guys can be doing any range damage. And the anti-infantry of this guy isn't great, but he does. This conscript squad is quite low. But here we go. The guards are moving forward now. This is kind of a stalemate right there. That's quite interesting. There is this flank coming around now with these conscripts. This should spell a full retreat from these guys. It's too much to handle now. So the MG got a bit aggressive over here, and he's just going to walk straight into the path of the Flamer half tracks. There's 2 MGs down now for elite special forces. Which, like I say, if he wanted to, he could just use his pioneers to reinforce. A great mortar strike coming in now. So we see the Testing's gone for some mortars of his own. He's fed up of beating mortars, and he wants to start dealing some damage. And also, it's been revealed then that Numbers guy has gone hit the dirt. As you can see from the little shield above his conscripts there. So expect plenty more conscripts, expect PPSHs. What do you do in preparation? Well, you need some MGs, ideally, if you can, to get some suppression down initially. But obviously, if they're accurate or very on the ball with a hit the dirt, snipers and mortars are a great way of countering them as well. But obviously, it's quite expensive and quite luck-based. And also vehicles. Don't forget that you have heavy vehicles can run over them and hit the dirt, and they won't move out the way. So it's literally just a straight driving line, running over people. Okay, Grenadiers now pushing up against his conscript. Now they're going to come around and go on the flank of this MG, and now's the AT guns out now as well. This mortar's going to have plenty to shoot at around here if he so chose to. Grenadiers are going to start taking quite a bit of damage, unfortunately, because there is a lot of troops available to actually start shooting at him. And he runs away because the MG was very rightly moving away. But look at this strong support build. You don't really regularly see this from Soviet players as much. You tend to see some conscripts in the mix, but very, very strong support play presence. This MG is critically low, but the mortar is still pinging away. The upgun scout car, unfortunately, won't be able to do much in this scenario because obviously we have an AT gun, but secondly, because he's upgunned, he's not going to be doing a great amount of damage. This guy can. The half-track can. Again, I'm sad that he hasn't picked up this MG just to deny it. And he's got plenty of manpower. It's not as though he's short of manpower at all. So I'm wondering what he's actually saving up for. He's gone for another half-track. Oh, excuse me, he's gone for the mortar half-track. Excellent decision. Oh, okay, look, there's the incendiary shot down there. So yeah, he goes down. It's the Bentley down, which is pleasing. So good flank as well coming on now. This scout car doing more distraction. Flamers just going everywhere. He needs to keep avoiding this 18 soon as much as he can. So he needs to micro this guy around because this guy is his main damage dealer. You need to start microing him because if this AT gets another shot off before he can kill one more AT, come on! No, he goes down. See, that was poor attention there, poor micro, and he sat right in front of the MG as well. So the MG could just pick away at him. Scout car is still having a sniff about, still having a play around. He does manage to take down the AT gun. Look at all these drop support weapons. I mean, that's 5 support weapons he's dropped in the last couple of minutes. And someone needs to capitalize on that. I don't care if it's conscripts, Ostripen, if it's grenadiers, or even Panzer grenadiers. Someone needs to start picking these things up, or at least destroying them. Because look at that. This MG now is so close to going down. I mean, yeah, there he does. He goes down. Mortar's close to going down. I'm not too sure what least special forces has in mind here, whether he has any backup coming. Let's have a little look. Nothing at all coming. This should be a full retreat. It might have been focusing too heavily on the left-hand side, but he's just lost a fair chunk of his army. However, like I say, if no one comes and picks these up, then he's enough to get some conscripts out, and he's completely reinforced his army straight away. So yeah, I'd like to see someone pick them up or damage them or do something with them, mines on them, anything, you know. They're there begging for attention. So more MG on MG action. So much support play in this match. You know, MGs are sort of, I wouldn't say vital, but very strong in this mid lane especially. But you generally sort of see a little bit more mobility, like some more snipers or some more clown cars and things. But this MG is eating these shots of this the Ziskan barrage. I don't think he realizes. I think he just sort of thought he was going up against another MG. He does see that now. He's going to get out. Is he going to get out before this barrage hits him? Yes, he is. But still 60 munitions. That's not too bad. He's got some bang for his buck. This MG is trying to set up in the face of these two guards. He's not going to have a great time, especially when this Maxim comes in and sets up next to him. But it's stolen Ziskan. Okay, so he has stolen it. Look at it. Wow, look at all the damage he's done. He just killed 9 troops. Look at that. Veterancy 1 in 1 barrage. That's huge. Veterancy 2. Oh no, Veterancy 2 for the Grenadiers behind him. I was about to say, that's insane. But a big push on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side has completely been denied for them. This Maxim here is going to have to get out. He went a bit too far forward. He just needs to sort of set up on the side of this MG42 just to retreat this guy back. Unfortunately, is he firing? Yes, he is firing against this MG42. They're both in each other's field of vision, so they'll keep having the tip-for-tap for a while. We see hit the dirt here, and there's going to be a rifle nade going on the AT gun. So hopefully I'd like to see the half-track mortar to start focusing around here. That is a nice shot there. Yeah, they did come from the mortar half-track, which is placed very nicely there in the cover of the trees. So some more shots here just to really start dishing it out on them would be great. There's so many troops in the field now, and there's not much in the way of vehicles. We are getting towards vehicle time. A great incendiary. Wow. Okay, so look, I just can't get over how many support weapons have been dropped so far. It's immense, and no one has the. No one's able to go and pick them up because they're based right over the fighting mainly. But I mean, the Austria have recovered this this 1AT gun. They have got his own pack gun out as well. He hasn't picked up any of the MGs. But there's a couple of mortars lying around as well if he so chooses to get them. And I should have mentioned a little while ago, obviously, because he got the mortar half track, it means he has picked his doctrine. So he's gone for the relief infantry, the smokes, and he's got the artillery and the off map if he so chooses to get it. The artillery, oh god, another support weapon goes down. So this guy. This stone's this guy with 13 kills. Oh, but he eats an excellent mortar shot. It's probably a direct fire shot because he's got veterancy. I'm going to swap over just so you can see it onto elite forces. Because he had the veterancy on this guy, it gives him this ability, which is the precision strike. 30 munitions. It's going to wipe out pretty much any support squad there is. It's really deadly accurate, but you have to kind of make sure that you're firing it on a stationary target because as soon as they move, well, it's 30 munitions down the drain. But the push now coming from Tezting and from this still alive scout car, and they're going to have a little bit of bother trying to take this middle point because they're so low and most of their forces are hanging back here just to defend the field. But it's a nice little flank attack now coming from these Panzer Grenadiers who should be able to force back these Panzer Grenadiers with no bother, but there is an MG supporting them. Some smoke coming down on the right hand side. I don't quite know what that was for. I think he was maybe trying to save his scout car, but it wasn't really taking the right kind of damage there for smoke to be necessary. But I'd like to see a bundle nade off just to get the veterancy down. Okay, he didn't even need the bundle, which is an overshot in my. Ooh, lovely mortar going down there. Let's have a look at this mortar. 15 kills in this mortar, so he's been racking them up. He's just been, well, he's had a lot to shoot at, really. A lot of emplacements. So these mortars have been really 21 kills for this mortar as well. German mortars are bloody good. Su-85 has now made his presence known, and then he's not happy with all these things on his battlefield. But that said, there's 2 AT guns for Qvazar in the mid. And Tezting does have his own pack gun as well. Look at all the machine guns. Look at all these Maxims that he's got. He's just recovered all the Maxims basically that have been dropped. So whilst his presence hasn't been huge, just because he's been recovering and reinforcing, you can see this. Look at the swarm in the tactical map. Look, it's just blue everywhere. So he's just recruited himself an army essentially. He's got his own mortars out, but there's just way too much firepower going down now, and it's nice to sort of see the tables flipped on the Soviets, and he's being punished for dropping his core weapons and not picking them up because, how many was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 stolen Maxims there, as well as his own MG, and that's just one of the players. So right now, infantry charges are very, very risky for the Soviets. As you can see, there's just MGs everywhere. Wherever he goes, there's MGs. There's double MGs flanking his thing. Covering his flank, should I say. He's still up here. I mean, there's 2 MGs still up here. Are they still there? Yeah, they're still there. so there's more MGs if he wants them, but no one's challenged this munitions point. It's kind of what the Soviets need, was something across over here as well, to put pressure over here, but now they're really on the back foot because, I mean, look, I can't even, like, 5, 10 is like about 14 units for Tezting, and another like 10 or so, including the Panzer IV for Qvazar. So the sheer numbers alone, if you look at Numbers Guy doesn't have current as much, but he does have a Katyusha's now, and Katyusha's an excellent, he's got an S-85, so he's got all the anti-army he really needs right now. Katyusha's going to be excellent because they've picked up so many of their support weapons. He's going to have plenty to shoot at. And let's quickly look at Elite Forces. Wow, Elite Forces then, like I say, he dropped all of the support weapons and hasn't been able to recover them, but he has been able to get a KV-8 on the field, and a KV-8 is going to be a beast. I mean, there's not much in the way of armor for the Austere, but there was quite a bit in terms of anti-tank sort of placements. So the KV-8, I'm going to see whether he just Rambos him on in, and there he goes. He's just going to Rambo in, take out as much as you can without taking a great amount of damage from the Panzer, but unfortunately there is an AT gun placed right here. So this KV-8 he might be able to decrew this mortar, but I mean, it's not going to be doing too much. He's down to half health already. I don't know if he can make it out, but he's showing his rear armor now. What you really need to do is just reverse straight back out. Your frontal armor is much greater than your rear. Now he's showing rear T2. Yeah, abandoned. We'll see if he learns his mistakes and actually recovers the KV-8 rather than just leaving it there. But let's switch back over to Qvazar, see what he's going to be doing. So this P4 is now being challenged by the S-85. He very rightly says, oh shit. Throws down a great bit of smoke. Is it going to be enough to get this Panzer out? It looks like it is. So he was unable to get the vision there, which he desperately needed, and the pack gun now will be able to, sorry, the Zisk going to be able to take some shots at this S-85. S-85 in great danger going down. Small sort of frontal assault there as well now in the middle. This gun just needs one more shot, and he's got Venom T2. I think he can do it if he can just get this one shot off the land. Wow, beautiful. So that's really, really, really unfortunate, and kind of poor play as well by these special forces. He just lost 2 very expensive units, and now I mean, let's have a little look. I think he's down to like 2 squads, is he? 1 squad of 1 MG who is retreating. And whenever you're in that situation in 2v2, it's very difficult for your partner because suddenly, I mean, your whole attitude about the game is obviously changed. You're thinking, this sucks, you know, I've got nothing, we may as well just surrender. But that's not always the case. You can always, there's always a comeback mechanic. So you need to have faith, and you need to really assess very quickly with your partner, are we going to sort of keep on playing, are we going to do this? As soon as that decision is made, no more bitching. You need to be straight back in the game and in the mindset of the game, and start winning, you know? Just get some infantry out there as much as you can. Like I say, there's so much he can recover, so he could very easily double the size of his force if he just went on out with about 3 conscript squads. And yeah, a great flank, well recognized from Tezting. He's seen that this guy was a bit too far forward pushed, and he's able to snipe him down very quickly with the Panzer V, and then just back right on out because he doesn't want to engage in an Su-85, or he doesn't want to engage with anything really that he doesn't need to. Not without the support of his pack at least anyway. So, quite low guards, about half health guards, going to eat a grenade and a mortar. I fear for their health. He's going to take some shots as well from the Grenadiers. Yeah, he decides to get out. Mortar's going to whiff them and just about miss. In terms of VPs as well, it was a triple cap until just very recently when this just is going to go into the hands of the Soviets. But it's actually about break even. The Soviets held this middle VP for so long in the beginning that it's only even though it looks like the Soviets are losing so badly at this moment in time. You know, I say losing so badly, there's always a comeback mechanic built in. Just remember that. A brilliant Katyusha's coming down on all these troops. So he's got to replace that Katyusha's, which is kind of alright, but I mean, there's an impending doom. There's this timer of death looming over their heads in terms of these vehicles, and this slow push to and push thing, and they just consistently move up all of these support weapons that they mainly recruit, and just sit outside the base, you know, and just completely deny the fuel and deny all the points they want, and just wait for the tickets to go down. I mean, it is a very real possibility. If you take the fog of war off, there's very, very few units about. And he's going, okay, this is a bad decision by Numbers Guy. I mean, again, I understand that you're losing troops, which means that you're quite behind, and artillery piece can help. But firstly, that's very far forward placed, how to consider your position, your impending position as well. You know, you're going to be base bin very soon. The howitzer, you could have got 2 or 3 squads out, and you need more men on the field at the moment. You don't need artillery. Artillery is always useful and always good to have, but it's not vital. You can't go and win a game with just 1 artillery piece. Again, I'm sure I'll be able to eat my words. I'm sure someone has a replay of just 1 artillery piece killing every single unit. But the point I'm trying to make is he needs to be able to put some pressure down and decap these VPs, stop the bleed, stop the drain. You can't do that with a howitzer. Like I say, I think the things are trying to rely a little bit too heavily on their artillery because they can't go face to face anymore. They can't go toe to toe. So they want to do as much damage as humanly possible, as far away as possible as well. We do see some artillery coming down. Yeah, some artillery coming down on the howitzer straight away. So it's, like I say, it's a very forward position and very easy to take up with it. If you're facing this sort of situation, you can't just expect that you'll make a comeback out of your base. Just build the artillery further back, as far back as you can. It should reach this middle VP, and that's all you kind of really need. If you manage to push out again and sort of destroy a lot of the troops in the middle, you can always build another artillery piece closer to this base. But you need to be able to defend it and defend it easily, and that's not a position you can do that in. So, stolen KV8, I was wondering who would pick this up, and unfortunately, at least Special Forces still doesn't realize that conscripts are the best thing about the Soviet army because there's just so many of them and they can recruit tons of stuff. So he's able just to repair up everything now. Everything's going to get nice and fully healed before the, I assume there's going to be a last hurrah because, I mean, there's a lot of forces building up here. Let's take the fog of war off for the remainder of the match, see what's going on. So, yes, again, it's more artillery-based units. I understand it's kind of more of a desperation move, though, than a smart move. So, look, I mean, he's got such light armor that the AT gun goes down to artillery. MG is way too far forward and completely unsupported, and the SU-76 is sniffing around on 0 health. So, 1 shot from this B5 as soon as he's in range. No, he's still focusing on the, okay. The back end decides to take him on anyway. A nice, again, nice barrage coming from the Katyushas. I don't question that his barrages are poor. They seem to be doing quite a bit of damage. But like I say, it just was a little bit too late. A little bit too late. If they'd got them down earlier on, and they'd started to rack up some veterancy on them and kept some more troops alive, then yeah, then it would have been really effective. But unfortunately, like I say, I mean, it's just not the wrong timing for it. I mean, this conscript squad is going to get melted by the KV8, the stone KV8, and that's really frustrating when you have a very expensive vehicle that gets abandoned, goes in the hands of your opponent. He's going to chase him down. I don't know if he's going to be able to finish off these squads because they are running away. So much artillery coming down in all these positions now. There's only a pack gun left outside the front of the base, and pack between him and the howitzer. And this flame guy, he's just having a whale of a time. He's got so many free targets to fire at. I mean, he can wipe out everything in this base on his own. And I'm sure that's going to call a good game kind of soon. He should probably focus on this howitzer first. Doesn't need to. Good game. Wow. I don't think I've seen so many support weapons in one game. Can we just sort of quickly look at Tezting to sort of see how... I mean, I don't know what Tezting built in the beginning, but... he's just got this MG army, just maxing spam to the max, you know, and it's not even him doing it, it's him stealing it. I've mentioned these sort of things before. Whenever you drop a weapon that you've paid for, such as a mortar, HMG, or it could be like a machine gun, it could be like the LMG 42, it could be any of those things. As soon as you drop them, if you recover them, then you automatically have reduced your loss. But if you let your opponent take them, you've kind of doubled your loss, because not only you lost the weapon, but you've now given him the weapon as well. So whenever you can, just try and either recover or destroy your equipment. So if you're not going to be using, if you don't want the AT gun that he's just lost, destroy it, deny it, you know, just make sure you or even putting some mines down. Again, you don't see very many players putting mines down on abandoned things this early in the meta, but it can be something that happens pretty soon, because you think about it, like I say, it's just an open flare, big target saying, pick me, come to me, and so, you know, the mine's going to be really effective. Anyway, Great play once again by Qvazar and Tezting. I thoroughly enjoyed casting this match. I'm sure those guys are going to go on to do some big and wonderful things in their 2v2 career. And commiserations to number guy. I'll say your name, 175049242. I'm sure that number is very important to you. And Elite Special Forces, thank you very much, guys, for being on this cast. I've been Krozzfyre, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.